Hello everybody, Zeth here, and today we're going to be talking about week 6 tier list. So it has been a while. I didn't make a tier list last week because I actually ended up quitting the game. That's only due to because I had a lot of things going for me and this was taking too much of my time. But I ended up missing the game very much, so now I'm back. I did end up making a new account. My old account, I stopped playing on it because I don't know. I just wanted a fresh new start. I did end up getting all of the new units on my other account, but I had to start over, guys. So let that one go, and here's the new one. So, anyways, let's get into the tier list. But before we get into the tier list, we have to talk about the new map. So here's the new map. I'm just going to talk about it very briefly. So all we have to take a look at is there's a hill and there's a mountain. All of the units will, if they have low jump, will move up the hill. And then they're going to be grouped up here. So just remember that. This is why the PvP tier list is going to be very different than last time. A lot of changes have happened because of this map. A lot of the units will either move up or move down. Alright guys, now let's take a look at the tier list. So I know a lot of you guys have been requesting me to use the new tier list maker, and here it is. We got it running finally. I will miss paint. We will use it as a reference, and I know you guys are still talking about how you guys want my shirt. Remember this shirt, this is a new one. You can get it in China. So this shirt is just nearby my house. If you want a purple blank shirt, come to China to get one. Okay, let's go talk about the new tier list, guys. So first up, we have this unit, unknown, don't know about her much. Next up, we have the thief guy. I'm starting off very bad, but let's just keep watching. So we have to put him into poop tier because he's not very powerful. He has to move up the mountain, very squishy, easy to take out, not too high damage. He's very evasive, but we don't have an evasive meta yet, so poop tier he is. Dragoon Boy, so he's a good unit to have, but not in this map. The problem with this map is that he has to run up the hill, and he does have high jump. So because he has high jump, he can jump on the mountain, and then he's going to be on the other side, and all of your opponent's units can attack him at once, and he'll be the first one dead. So not the best unit to have. Plus, he has a charge time. So poop tier he is. Next up, I'm going to move him to B because he does do high damage. Next up, Shitzel, high damage, thunder unit, has a lot of counters like Mont, so B tier. He does damage himself, buffing himself, especially when he does damage too, so B tier he is. Fire unit, her first tier list, she's a good unit to have. Problem with her is that she has the skill Fennis Killer, not many Fennis units out yet, so decent unit, kind of bulky, but not the best unit to have in PvP. One thing going for her is that she is a fire unit. Fire units are awesome to have in this game right now because there are no water units to counter them besides for Ramada. Next up we have the Thunder Monk. Thunder Monk is pretty good. Again, another thunder unit. You can use something else, so B tier she is. Next up we have is Y'shtola. Y'shtola is a good unit to have. So because she does do high damage, she also does high AoE damage. And AoE is very powerful this meta because all of the units have to go up the hill, and because they're all going to be grouped together, because of that she can AoE cast off on them all and take them all out at once. So she's an SS tier unit right now in PvP. Etna, decent unit, earth unit, a lot of thunder units running around, so A tier. She can't punch through the wall this time, but because a lot of people do have her level 99 and have her Trustmaster, she's an A tier unit for this PvP meta. Fina, good unit to have, but the problem with her is because she is having the move Cheer, which is an awesome skill to have, but in PvP not so much. But she does do heals. We had her in poop tier last time, guys, but we have to move her higher into A tier, and that's because heals are so powerful in this meta. So because if you pair up her with a tank, If you have the tank in first position, Fina in second position, Fina can heal both of the second position and the third position unit. But they all have to climb up the mountain. She'll be safe from any of the damage coming towards her way. So heals are very powerful this meta. She's very safe. Wotv, we had him in poop tier, but he's a good unit this time, guys. Hunters can shoot over the wall, and because they can shoot over the wall, they can hit you and they're safe. Who's gonna take them out, guys? Shooting over the wall is very powerful, so he can pretty much take out any unit he wants. So, good unit to have in this meta. We will put him into S tier. If someone has him level 99, amazing, good for you, you are winning PvP. You could probably be an SS tier unit right now, but I don't have much information about him. So he just jumped from poop tier to S tier because he can shoot over the wall. I think this girl's name is Nasha, I have forgotten. It has been a while. She's a good tank to have. Tanks are very powerful this meta, as they were last time. But first position, the only counters are fire units. So because of that, we can put her into SS tier. So one thing I do want to say is Mediana can counter her, but the problem is she's also a nice unit, so the powerful damage won't be too high on her. Her direct counter is Y'shtola. Y'shtola can take her out, so be aware of that. Next up, we have Margaret. Last time we had her into the unknown. I have seen her into the PvP, so she's pretty good. Heals are awesome this meta, guys, and because heals are awesome, she is an S tier unit. So Time Mage, heal, awesome to have. Ramada, good unit, not the best unit, same like that girl, because of being the only water unit to counter fire units. That's what's going for her. She does have Nighthawk, so she can hit through the wall. So I would like to put her into S tier. The only downfall to Ramada is that one, she has Magic Blade. It can be nice, but the biggest problem is that she has Fennis Killer, and there are no Fennis units running around. Maybe there are running around, but the problem is not many of them. King Old's Wife, healer, same thing. Heals are very powerful this meta. Grace, another healer, and she's more bulkier. Not HP wise, but because of the resistance she has, she's very powerful with all of the resistance, and she has heals. Heals are so powerful this meta, guys. Next up, Shadowlynx. We had her into SS. Finally, she's gonna fall in this week. Maybe she'll move up when the evasion meta comes, but right now we have to move her down because her mobility, she's too fast. So if you have her with 5 move, she's gonna run first, she's gonna get slaughtered first. She can also jump on the mountain, run towards the enemy, and just get slaughtered. S tier she is. Ryuk, another good unit, but the problem with Ryuk is that he can't hit through the wall. And because he can't hit through the wall, this is what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna put him into S tier, and I'll explain why. So we did have him in SS, he's S tier now. Let's say you have him into second position, and you have a tank in first position. Your tank will run up, and then Ryuk will follow. So because this is a line, he can't shoot. Because if he shoots, he's going to attack at the tank. So he has to go around. And that's not a really good angle for Ryuk right now, because there's not much movement around. Okay, next up is Ao. Ao is a good unit to have. Evasion meta is coming. He does deal a lot of high damage. The only problem with him is he's Thunder unit, and because Thunder, we do have a lot of the Earth units running around, so he will be S tier until Evasion meta comes. Mashuri, we had her into C tier before. We don't have a C tier anymore, but C tier was pretty much poop tier. That was a tier just for her. So Mashuri is gonna jump up all the way into S tier. So because she's in S tier, she's more bulkier than some of the other healers, And that's what's going for her. She's bulkier, not the squishiest unit, and the most important thing is she can heal, and heal are very powerful this meta. Next up, Rob. Rob Horn is strong unit. We did have him SS before. We have to move him down because he has to get in your face. Nice thing about him is if you put him in second position, sometimes he can build up his limit burst and he can limit burst you down. But the thing is, he has to get in your face. And because of that, he will get hit hard in the second turn, so S tier he is. Mont. Earth unit, very powerful this meta. Mont was SS before. He is SS still. So because he's an Earth unit, he does do a lot of damage. He will move up. He has 4 movement, guys. Because he has 4 movement, he can reach the enemy quickly. The only downside to him is he's going to move up to the wall, and there's a little gap, and he's going to throw his rock. That is the only thing causing Mont to be bad right now. So because he's throwing the rock, he's an SS unit. Counters thunder units very hard. That's what's going for him, guys. Okay, Gafgarion, finally, right? New unit. So, strong damage dealer. We have to put him in SS. So if you have a tank with Vow, Gafgarion does have a few AoE moves. I think maybe one AoE move, if I'm not mistaken, if that was a S4 or something. But he does do a lot of damage. I've seen him hit 4k already. So if they have a light unit running around, level 99 Gafgarion's running around, he can take out a lot of the units one hit. I wouldn't put him into third position. Second position is good for him. So he will run after the tank and then start doing damage. King Old. So awesome unit to have in this meta again. You want to put him into second position because if you have him in second position, he can hit through the wall with Nighthawk. Nighthawk is a very nice move to have. Hitting through the wall can take out a lot of the enemies. And he is the only fire unit, so he is pretty much running the meta for fire units. And a lot of ice units running around. So King Old, SS. Yerma, high damage, really good to have. No Medianas running around, use Yerma, you're probably going to win the match. Stern, strong damage dealer. Any of the tanky units like Engelbert, Thancred, if they are running around, I do suggest using Stern. But you do have to be careful. You should have a tank of your own with Vow on. So Stern can take out those very high, bulky units in 2 shots. So Stern, really good to have on your team. Same goes for Jiza. So with Jiza, you know, she's also a very fast unit. You have to be careful from that. Sometimes she will move twice before your tank unit, so she's just going to get slaughtered. So SS she is, but a good unit to have to counter a lot of the light units. Mediana, amazing this time. She'll run up the mountain, limit burst their whole party, and you could win the match just because of that. It is her week. A lot of 99 Medianas could be running around already. So Mediana, SS definitely. Okay, Eileen pooped here. Now let's talk about Orlando. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, so Eileen, amazing, guys. So you wanna same thing like King Old. If it was her week last time, so because a lot of people have a level 79 or higher, she can use Nighthawk and kill enemies in 1 shot. So she's SS, guys, better than Rob Horn. So hitting through the wall, and she's a third Earth unit. She can counter Orlando and some of the other Thunder units like Federico very hard, and maybe even kill him with 1 shot. Next up is Orlando. We're gonna move him after, guys. All right, Thancred. Thancred, high HP, powerful. I've seen him with 5k HP. Tank unit to have. Put Vow on him. He's gonna be running the meta still. Usually I have 2 Ayakas, but since we're using the new tier list maker, I only put 1. Last time I had her in B tier if you built her wrong, but there is no wrong this time, guys. She's a healer, and you want heals more than damage this time. So because she's a very, very good healer, she can heal up your party all the way, be very safe. She's an SS tier unit. Gilgamesh, we already know about him. There is no counter to him. Haste, very fast. AoE, guys, AoE. Amazing to have. Can wipe out the whole enemy if you put him into second position. Don't put him in first. You want to tank in first position. Engelbert, same thing. Tank unit. You want a tank unit. So he's the only thing slowing him down is he has 3 movement. Mont has 4. So he can move closer to the enemies first. But really good to have Engelbert running around. Federica. So Federica is amazing, guys. So different from Ryuk, because Ryuk can't shoot through the wall. Federica also can't. But if you change her sub-job into Ranger or Hunter, if you put that on her, she can shoot over the mountain just like Wazzetti. And because of that, she can take out a lot of the other opponent's units over the wall. So put her into second position and she will do that, and she could, wipe out some of their enemies. So SS she is. Orlando, put him into third position. So amazing unit to have, high damage. So because he is awesome to have, he can hit through the wall. Because he can hit through the wall or under the wall, he can kill their enemy units in third position right away. Amazing to have. He will first buff himself, move, opponent will move closer to the wall, he's going to run up and hit them. He'll be safe, he can wipe out the enemy unit. So it would be nice to have a counter for Orlando in the third unit. Almost everyone has an Orlando. I'm sorry if some of you don't, but if you do have him, a lot of people will put him into third position. Best to either put Mont in third position and a tank in first position. So think about this. Mont, third position. Third position, Mont. First position, another tank, and a healer or a damage dealer in second position. And that is what the meta, I think, will be because of so many Orlandos running around. Next up is Ramza. Same thing like Orlando, less damage, but the nice thing is if you put him in with mage sub-job, so if you have that on him, he can also hit through the wall, same like Orlando. So put him in third position or even second position because he is also a support unit and can heal. So awesome to have Ramza as well. Now guys, we're going to talk about all of the SSS units, the ones that are running the meta. So first up is going to be, let's take a look. I'm losing my mind, guys. Okay, Ramza. First up is Ramza, can hit through the wall, can support your unit, and awesome to have on your team. Not many counters to him. He's also very bulky, so he can wipe out some of their units first. And also his skill doesn't take a lot of AP, so he's going to be using it more often. Same thing with Orlando. So many Orlandos running around high level, and he can hit through the wall, and that is very big in PvP because anyone who can hit through the wall, they're safe in PvP. Federica, if you have her with Hunter sub-job, she can shoot over the wall. So what's going to happen is she's going to hit them over the wall and she's going to be safe. You're going to have one of these SS units to counter her. So one thing about Federica, you want your agility to be slower than your opponent. That way, if Federica uses charge, she will use charge after the unit when they have moved already. This way she's going to cast off after. So she'll be safe. And the damage with charge will hit them. If she moves first, she's going to use charge and the opponent will move out of the way. So make sure you are slower than your opponent. Next up is Engelbert. Engelbert, good tank to have, very bulky. So we're gonna have to put him here. One thing about him, if you have a unit that's too fast, he's not going to do his job, and that's going to put him into SS tier. So it's probably better to have Mont over Engelbert because he has to climb up the mountain, and his mobility is only 3. He only moves 3 spaces, and your opponent will move first. Your second position unit will move faster than your Engelbert, which means he'll be in the way and your opponent can actually attack your second position unit first. So let's put Mont in the SS instead of Engelbert. Next up, Gilgamesh, no counter to him. Massive AoE damage, there's no counter to him. We do have King Old, but no one's running King Old. So Gilgamesh is very high tier. Next up, Thancred, high HP, high damage, very good tank unit. Also has the move Rough Divide, so he can get to the units fast, and they're all gonna be targeting him. So SS. And finally, we have one more unit. Her name is Ayaka, best HP, best healer. Sorry guys, best healer, and she can heal up your whole team, and she's gonna be safe. Now let's talk about the number one unit, and that is going to be Gilgamesh. So best to have on your team. Second is Thancred. Next is Ayaka. If you have a team with these three, you are the meta. You will win every single match. Again, this is only week 6. Things will change later on, but this is what the tier list looks like. This is the information that I have gathered in this week. So healers went way up. Tank units still very high. You need them because of Vow of Love. And the units that have charge time, they're going to move down a little bit. Some of the other units that can hit through the walls, they move up. Anyone with high jump, avoid those units. They're going to move down because they'll jump on the wall, jump under the wall, or around the wall, run to the enemy, and just die. Alright guys, this is the end of the tier list. If you guys like the tier list, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you all next week. I will not quit. I enjoy the game very much. That was a mistake I had made, but I'm back guys, and I will be climbing through the ranks again, and I'll share some more PvP information that I gather. Alright guys, see y'all later.